Welcome to AskStuart.com, where today I'm going to be answering a question from a Mr. Martin Champion. Great name there, Mr. Champion, and a great question. And Martin's question is, how often should I email my list? And this is something that I've discussed many times with many of our community members, students over the years, and also amongst friends. Quite often we all have very different takes on this. But what I'm going to share with you right now is my perspective, which I think will serve pretty much all individuals wanting to consider their options when it comes to emailing their list. So the first thing I want to say is this, is that I think there is nothing more important than just doing what you say you're going to do. Okay, so that's the first thing. So as an example, if you say that you do a monthly newsletter, it's imperative that you email monthly. If you say that you're going to do weekly emails, that you follow up and send your emails out weekly. If you say you're going to do daily emails or Monday to Friday or whatever it might be, make sure that you do your emails daily. Now the reason this is important is because typically when somebody's subscribing, you should be setting their expectations, okay, and how you email, what it is that you're going to be emailing. The better you are actually confidently talking about what you're going to be delivering, the value you're going to be sharing, why people should be subscribing, the more subscribers you're actually going to get is typically what I found, or certainly higher quality subscribers. The better that you set expectations and are clear in what you're actually going to be delivering. That doesn't need to be long, extensive videos talking people through what you're going to be doing. It can be simple bullet points, weekly email, daily emails, insights that I'll be sharing, that kind of thing. Now, once you've actually set that expectation, it's important that you then obviously fulfill on that, and that you're consistent. And this is the key thing. It's about being consistent. You see, what I've found, and I've actually made this mistake myself, is that, let's say, for example, I'm typically emailing twice a month on a broadcast basis, where I'm writing emails and sending them out to my subscribers. And that's the expectation I've set, and that's what I'm doing. If I then suddenly, without any warning, revert to, for example, daily emails, I'm going to get a lot of upset people, a lot of unsubscribes. So I have actually shifted my frequency on emailing many, many times, but what I will tend to do is set that expectation over a series of emails. So maybe over the next 3 emails, I'll say, hey, this is what I'm intending to do. Stay as a subscriber if this is interesting. And then obviously the usual, you can unsubscribe if this isn't of value. And always remember that. You should never be afraid of people unsubscribing. If what you do, the information you're sharing is of interest to them, don't worry about it. Let them go. It's not an issue whatsoever, especially once you start aggressively building your email list, which is probably what most people are aiming to do. So that's the first tip, is be consistent. Now, while we're on this topic, email marketing is a huge topic. Regular questions are things like how frequently should I email, but also what should I be emailing about? And again, I think this is going to be really important in terms of when deciding how often you're going to be emailing. You see, if you're doing something that's more factual, monthly newsletters, weekly newsletters can be really, really great stuff. So for example, my partner, my girlfriend Casey, she runs a personal styling business, and she'll do a monthly newsletter on the latest styles. Sometimes it will be once every 2 months or seasonal, that kind of thing. But it's quite an extensive newsletter with a lot of sort of factual information in terms of what's been on the runway, what's been discussed and talked about in fashion and that kind of thing. I've never really done that kind of marketing myself. Mine tends to be more conversational. So let's just say, call it storytelling. So one of the things that I found to be most powerful in email marketing is really building that one-on-one relationship with your subscribers. And what I mean by that is them looking forward to receiving your emails. It's a bit like a soap opera. They read your emails, they know where you are, what you're up to, what you're focused on, what you're delivering, what you're sharing, some things about your personal life. And they're actually looking forward to hearing from you, having questions on their mind, like, oh, I wonder what book he's going to recommend this time, or I wonder where he is in the world right now. I wonder what insight he's going to be sharing from his, personal life and from his business life and that kind of thing. So, again, this isn't going to be an extensive educational video on email marketing, but when it comes to frequency, it's going to be dependent on your style as well. And I think if you're building personal relationships, which is ideal for many, many businesses, especially like your typical online marketing businesses, then you're going to want to email reasonably frequently. I would suggest a minimum of 4 times a week. And to some people, that sounds a lot. A lot of people get concerned with, I'm going to get too many unsubscribes. It's too often. I'm already getting unsubscribes where people are saying that, they're unsubscribing because they're getting too many emails. And telling you now, usually it's because what you're emailing is, not that interesting to them. If you're engaged with your customer and you've chosen your avatar, the type of people who are a good fit for you, I promise you that the best people are going to be really, truly engaged. And your storytelling with your days, your good days, your bad days, seeding in some insights and information. Good email marketing should be insightful for sure. One of the things I talk a lot about within our community is that one of the best ways to educate your audience, in other words, be of value, is by sharing insights around your own journey. If you've had a bad day, what have you done about it? If you've had some problems in your business, what are you doing about it? If you've had some things in your personal life that are going on and you've had a triumph, share it. And the highs and the lows are what people are really most engaged with. If you think about TV, reality TV, soap operas, that kind of thing, why is it people are always sort of engaged with these types of programs? Well, it's because there's often cliffhangers, what's coming next, the episode ends, and then it's like, well, what's going to happen? What on earth is going to happen to Barbara? I must check out the next episode. And again, that's what creates this sort of loyal fan base, is this ongoing storytelling. And you want to do that in your emails. You want to be leaving cliffhangers. For example, you could be saying, hey, I'm off to New York for a seminar on Wednesday. I'm going to be meeting Joe Blogs and we're going to be discussing this particular topic, or we're going to be learning about this specific strategy. Cannot wait to share some of my top takeaways with you. And then all of a sudden, they're really excited for that next email. And again, don't think your emails, especially if you're building that personal relationship with your clients. And this works in most businesses, by the way. A lot of people think, well, people don't care about me and what I'm doing in my personal life. Well, that could be accurate if you're dealing with the corporate world or you're doing B2B sales more so. But if you're actually selling direct to consumer, there are very few businesses that I've come across where people actually don't like that friendlier approach in email. When I write my emails, here's another tip for you. I always think that I'm writing as if I'm writing to a friend of a friend. So it's far from corporate. It's not overly professional, and it doesn't. I don't worry about having perfect grammar and spellings. I'm much more interested about it being engaging, friendly, but not too friendly. That's why I say a friend of a friend. I'm not writing it as if I'd write an email to my best buddy. That language and that kind of email is only reserved for them. But in all seriousness, I want to make sure that it's friendly, it's engaging, and insightful. And people are always my best emails. I'll say this: my best emails are often when I've shared personal struggles or issues or problems, and then I've shared things that I'm either actively doing to solve my issues or solve my problems, or I'm actually sharing things that I've worked with that have actually helped me solve issues. It could be things like, having a bad day in my relationship and then saying, but we resolved it and this is what we did, we talked it through. Sounds crazy to people coming from the corporate world. I remember when I first got into email marketing, coming from real estate, I was like, I can't write that, I can't say that. But this is the thing, when you really know the individuals you're looking to serve and help, people aren't looking for fake. They're not looking for corporate, perfectionism. They're actually looking for a bit of engagement and entertainment and someone that they can trust. And let me ask you this, who do you trust more? People that have some faults in life, who aren't perfect, who get the odd thing wrong but are transparent, who are vulnerable? Or is it the newsletter that comes in with the banners and the static design look and the perfect grammar but really not all that engaging? And that's why many businesses, even big brands, are starting to shift towards this more personality approach where there is actually individuals, humans behind the emails. Nobody wants to just think that it's a robot behind the computer screen writing to them. They want to know it's a real person. We all know real people have vulnerability. They have, a story to tell, information to share. So with that all said, if you're taking that approach, I'll actually go as far to say if you're good at writing and you enjoy it, the more the better. My most profitable email marketing buddies in the industry are emailing typically daily. Personally, for me, it's more of a 3-4 times a week approach, mainly down to my time and how I choose to do it, what works with me. But again, just be consistent with what you do. Don't change from one to another without warning and without educating your audience. But the best thing is when you find your flow, whether it's 3 times a week, 4 times a week, 5 times a week, and you gain that consistency, your email open rates will go up because you're consistent and people like that. It's nothing better than when you miss a day or you don't email for a while and people are saying, hey, where are you? Haven't heard from you. Are you still alive? Then you know you've got that relationship happening. So I hope this has been helpful. And like I said, there's no definitive answer to how often or frequently you should email your list, but there's some tips there that I hope you enjoy and take on board. Over and out, and I'll see you in another video very, very soon. Take care.